Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Veronica, aka Little Miss Skin Expert. In today's video, I am going to show you bing ding the Urban Decay's Game of Thrones collection. Well, the palette. I didn't get the entire collection, but I did get the palette. I got one lipstick. I also got an eyeliner from that collection. But I want to show you guys how I created this look. So if you guys want to see how I did it and how to do it for, you know, on yourself, then just keep on watching. Okay, you guys, the moment I have been waiting for is to get my hands on this guy right here, the Game of Thrones Urban Decay collab. I did not get all of the entire collection. I was on the hunt for getting the PR package. I did try to win the entire PR package as well because I was really excited about this. I am a huge Game of Thrones fan. My brother introduced me to the series, and at first, when I first saw the first episode, I'll be honest, I was like, bro, this is slow. And then all of a sudden something shocking happens, and I'm so glad that it did because it just hooked me right in. So, you know, I have been watching it since day one, and I'm really glad that I did. And now here we are on the last season, and I'm sad, but I'm also very happy, you know, because we're now coming to the conclusion and finding out what happens. So if you guys are not watching the series, I won't, you know, be a spoiler and tell you anything about it. I'll just tell you that it's a really great show and that, you know, it's well written. The graphics are really graphic and vivid, and the story is great. So I highly recommend that you guys check it out. But let's get started and into this palette right here. So the first thing that I want to talk to you, well, let's just show you guys this beautiful palette. So the first thing is it has a big mirror. This is not a travel friendly kind of palette, so I wouldn't suggest that you travel with it. But it's a beautiful, the way that they did the packaging, it's very heavy duty. It has a little passage here. I won't go into it just because it's a lot of words. We want to get into the actual tutorial, but I mean, the details are definitely there. And then right here is a little pull tab, and then here is the palette. It's beautiful. There's a lot of different shimmers in here. It's very vibrant and colorful. I love Urban Decay's formula, so that's good. And then the only thing I would say is that there's only 3 matte shades. I think everybody in the beauty community that talks about this palette and it's done looks with it, that's been their #1 complaint, is they just wish that there was just one more matte. I probably would like to. But I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do today, but we're going to do something fun, I hope. So let's get started. So I went ahead and just did my eyebrows off camera. I always feel like that's just like takes too long, and it's not my favorite thing to do. So, but I have been using the combo of using the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit Cosmetics. I really love this because it has a diamond tip, and so I don't know if the camera's picking that up. There we go. And the nice thing about it is that with the diamond tip, it's very easy to just kind of just go bam, 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 done. And at the other end of the pencil, there's a spoolie on there. So I am in the shade 3.5 right now. At least that's what I think I am. And then I'm using the Gimme Brow. I love this product. I'm using the shade 4. And one of the reasons why I like this product is because I can wear it by itself. Just, you know, it gives that hair-like stroke on the brow, so that's really nice. So you don't look so penciled in. So I prefer that. That's kind of been my brow routine lately. So yeah. Okay, so getting into the palette now, I'm gonna start with the shade House Lannister, which is this pink shade right here. I'm not too sure what look I'm gonna go in with, but I think that I'm gonna stick to these guys right here. I mean, the whole palette I'm gravitating to, but I am wearing I'm wearing white today. So I wanted to do like just some blues. I've been kind of into blues lately. So let's do this. So I am gonna kind of go rounded into the eye. And I'm just gonna build this shade up to where I kind of like it. And I'm gonna actually maybe pull this out a little bit too, because I tend to kind of not do that. And I think it looks prettier when you do. And I'm using the Morphe M573 brush to do this. Okay, so the next shade in the palette that I'm going to go in with is this shade called Nymeria, and it's just a brown shade, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this to deepen out the crease and define the crease, warm the crease. I am using now the Sigma E38 brush to do that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just start right into the blue shades here. So I am gonna start with this shade called Frozen North, and it's just this very beautiful blue. Oh, I love this blue. I am like drawn to these kinds of blues. I'm gonna go ahead and just start adding it to the outer and inner corner of my eye, because we are gonna do a halo eye look today. Hi, mister. Okay. You want to... He's holding on to tissue. Come say hi. That's fire. You want to come say hi to people? Yeah. Say hi, everybody. It's... Hi. Alright, so I want to go ahead and deepen out the outer and inner corner just a little bit more. So I'm going to use the shade Take the Black. And I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and just start packing it into the outer and inner corner of the eye again. So just going to deepen it out just a little bit. I'm not too worried about being like imperfect here, because I am going to take a makeup wipe to just clean the edges. So I do highly recommend that you do your eyeshadow first when doing a dramatic look such as this. It just helps it look a lot cleaner. I find it to be very good to, when doing a dramatic look, to doing the eyeshadow look first. To cut the crease, I'm going to use the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Swan. I do want it to be very pigmented, and so I really want the eyeshadow to grab onto the concealer, which is why we're doing the cut crease today. And I am using a MAC 242 brush, and I'm going in dabbing motions because it kind of helps to not move the outer and inner corner eyeshadows that you've just applied. So okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to use my finger to apply it just to get it going. So I am going to use the shade White Walker, which is this really beautiful like silvery blue, and it almost has like some violet reflect to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start dabbing it in the center of the eye like that, and then I'm going to go in with a synthetic brush, and I'm going to actually wet it with Fix Plus, because I find that these shadows do work best that way. And going into that shade again, it's just going to bring out the pigment even more. Like that. And I'm almost doing it in like a dabbing motion because I don't want to pull the product. I want to pack the product. I want it to be as pigmented as it possibly can be. And then I'll do it to the other side. Okay, so taking like a very, very, very skinny brush, I am going to go in with Frozen North, and I'm going to just lightly add it to that. So now we've defined the crease again. Very lightly. I want to go back into Frozen North again, and I'm going to use the synthetic brush and pull it just a little bit inward and outward to help it blend into the deeper shade. And do that as well here. This is going to help create dimension and depth into the eye. Like that. And then going back in to take the black and packing it again. So it's a lot of like apply, reapply, apply, reapply. I know it's like time consuming, it's a little bit tedious, but I promise you the end result will look really, really good. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade Hardhome. I'm gonna actually just take my finger and I'm gonna just dab it into the center here, almost like a topper. And so that's gonna help brighten this area up even more. Giving it more dimension and depth, which is what I want. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I'm just going to clean out the outer edges, and I'm going to use the Paula's Choice Gentle Cleansing Cloths. I love these cloths. I discovered them, and I've just been really, really hooked in using them. And I like how soft the cloth is, number one, but number two, there's no fragrance in this guy, and it has a little bit of antioxidants in the rags, so, or the cloths I should say, they're not rags. And it does a really great job in just cleaning up the makeup. So you can use these to as a, you know, pre-cleanse and cleansing off your makeup, or you can just use it like how I'm using them today, which is for the makeup. And see, there was a little bit of fallout, as you can see, so that's why I want to go in and clean up as much of this blue as I can, because we want the makeup to look clean. Okay, so I am going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer, and I'm only going to use this in the center because this is a mattifying kind of primer, and I typically am oily in the T-zone, and I want the foundation to not be too matte, but I do want like the pores to be minimized, and this is really good about doing that. So starting with that. Now I didn't buy the highlighter, so I do want to kind of give my skin like that illuminating kind of appearance. So I have been using the L'Oreal's True Match Lumi foundation, and I've been really liking it. And one of the things that I like about it is, number one, it has SPF in it. If you guys are somebody who doesn't like to wear sunscreen, you should probably consider using a foundation with sunscreen, or a BB cream or a CC cream with sun protection in it. And the reason why is because 90% of the process of the aging process is due to the sun. You know, so if you're trying to help reduce that, then I would suggest using sunscreen or sun protection, or finding a foundation or a protection of some sort that has it built in the formula. So I like this one for that reason. And then also what I'm going to be adding to it to make it a little bit more illuminating is using the Cover FX Custom Enhancing Drops, and I'm going to use the shade Moonlight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it into the foundation, and I think I'm just going to use like a couple drops. I did spill a little bit, so I'll just use the rest of that, and I'll go ahead and I'll just mix the two things together. Again, it's going to give it a little bit more of a metallic sheen, but I want the skin to really look illuminating, so I'm just kind of messily putting it all over the skin. And then I'm going to use the Nancy stippling brush. I love this brush for full coverage. Not everybody likes a full coverage foundation. This, I feel like you can build on it, but this technique will give me more of a fuller coverage. I'm just stippling it. I will go in with a makeup sponge just to make sure everything is blended nicely. I am going to be using the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealers again, but I like to do 2 shades. I like to use the shade Almond and Swan together. So I use Swan along the bridge of my nose just to help highlight it a little bit. I also use it in this, I use it everywhere. But then what I do, I'm just going to kind of go along like this. And then what I like to do is take Almond, which is a little bit darker, but it has like some golden undertone in there, is just add it here. What this will do is it will allow me to not look so stark white. So like when the flash goes off, I'm not taking any photos or anything, but if I was, it's not going to look so washed out in that area. But I do want it to appear brighter in the center of my face, so that's why I do that. And I only add it just in the center like this because then I'm just, you know, pressing it into the skin, and then it just naturally wants to go in that direction anyway, so. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder by Too Faced. I love this powder, and I love it because it doesn't look like crepey on my skin, and it doesn't accentuate crevices or texture. And another thing that I like about it is it's not too matte, so it's hard to explain it. But it's definitely like top 3 on my list of setting powder, loose powder. And I'm going in with a very large brush. This is the Morphe E41, and I like this brush when I'm really just trying to smash it all into the skin. I go a little bit heavier, like in the center, and then dust it out. So yes, it's gonna look a little crazy at first. But I promise you, once I do all my setting spray and everything, all this is gonna just meld together. I recently picked up the Fenty Beauty's, I love these, the Stalk'r Instant Warm Bronzer, and I'm using the shade Inda Sun, and I also purchased the Fenty Beauty's bronzing brush. It's 190 bronzer, and what I love about this is how unique the shape is. And so when I go in with my bronzer, I'll just show you, it really hugs the skin well, and it's soft enough to where you're not dragging the product across and wiping the other products that you just applied to your skin away. So I really love how well this really shapes my face. So I recently picked up the Urban Decay Game of Thrones 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil, and this is waterproof, in the shade The Night King, and this is such a beautiful shade. This is a very unique shade. It's like a turquoisey kind of blue-green, and what I like about it is it has like a metallic reflect to it too. So I'm going to actually apply this in the waterline today, and I'm going to tightline out. I know this is weird the way I tightline because it's just the way that my eye is shaped. And that's how I tightline. I'm going to go in now with the shade Frozen North, and I'm going to use this smudger brush. I'm really looking for another one like this because I love it so much. I think what I'm going to do is leave that center area a little blank because I think I'm also going to go in and use something bright. So I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the outer and inner corner of the eye. and just deepen it up until I'm happy with how dark it is. I am going a little low. I'm not too concerned with that because I'm going to just go in and blend that out. You guys will see. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go in with the shade Take the Black with this angled brush here, and I'm just going to tightly go right in here on the outer and inner corner, kind of mimicking exactly what I did on top to the bottom now. But what I like to do is I like to go backwards. So basically I'm doing all the darkest shades first, and then I'll go in with the lighter shades last, because I don't want it to become like a muddy mess. So that's why I do it this way. And then just taking like another smudger brush to help blend these two together. It's just deepening out the blue to make it a little bit deeper, like a blue or turquoisey shade, I don't know. Okay. Alright. I kind of wish I would have gotten that white shade in the collection, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do is use my Urban Decay's Yayo shade, and I'm just going to go just right in the center. I'm going to use this as like a base. Okay, and then going in with the shade White Walker, I'm just going to use my finger to go over that. So now it has something to stick to. In the center there. Like that. And I'm just going to keep reapplying it until I like where it's at. And I think I do like where it's at right now. Okay, so very, very lightly I'm going to go in with this shade House Lannister again, which was the first shade that I started with. And I'm just going to help add it and blend, use it to blend these shades. So there's not like a very harsh line here. Like that. And then I think to brighten the inner corner of my eye, I'm going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to go in with the shade Hardhome. And we're going to use this to highlight the inner corner of the eye. My finger, because I really want this to be pretty pigmented. Yeah, see, look at that. That looks good. These Urban Decay shadows seem to do pretty well with your finger technique, so I do recommend that as well. And now let's put on some mascara and lashes and finish up the look. I do want to add a little bit of the Sweetie Pie bronzing shade here by Too Faced. What this is going to do is give me a little bit of some iridescence as well. I just kind of want to add a little bit of that to the face. I think it looks really nice on the skin, especially during the summertime. I'm just going to add a little bit on the nose as well. Okay. Because I want to put everything else down on my face, set it, and all that good stuff. So we'll do that first before we put mascara and lashes. Okay, so I'm going to use the Fit Me blush by Maybelline. I really love their blushes. They are pigmented, they're affordable, and they last a long time during the day. So I'm just going to use the shade Rose. blend this through. I think for highlight today, I'm going to use the Maybelline's Master Chrome Highlighter. This is by the one that they did with Nikkitutorials. And I like this one because it is pretty light on the skin. So if you are fairer, it's going to show up on your skin really nicely. But I want to add it because I have such a silvery kind of eye look. And I think this would look really nice with the makeup look today. So I'm going to first apply it dry with a fan brush, and then I'm going to spray my face, and then I'm going to smush it into the skin. I'm going to go ahead and use the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. This has a really nice fine mist, so and it helps the makeup to just really meld together. Now, fan dry. Okay, so while I have my fan going, this is where I'm going to take a wet, damp beauty sponge, and I'm just going to smush that highlighter down into the skin so it's a little bit more skin-like and not powdery. Like that. So for lashes today, I am going to use these lashes here. These are by Icona Lash in the lash style Love Story. And I like these ones because they're a comfortable kind of band. You know, if you see this on camera here, let's see, how can I focus it so it's not focused on, there we go. The band is very thin, and so it makes it a lot easier to not only apply it onto the eye, but wear it comfortably. So I have gone through quite a bit of different lash companies, but this lash company, Icona Lash, has been my most favorite. I used these for my wedding. I then just started using them on the daily whenever I want to amplify my look even more. So but I like this particular style because of how natural it looks, and it's not overpowering. It won't hide the makeup look either. So this is in the style Love Story, so I'm going to go ahead and put those on right now. I just want to show you, like, this is with the lashes on, this is with the lashes off, and just what they look like. You know, again, I just love how well these blend into my own lash line. You know, they're very easy to apply. So I do have a code for you guys too if you guys are interested in any of their lash styles. My code is Littlemisskinxpert 10, and that'll help you save some money, 10%. Alright, so for mascara, I went ahead and used the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on my lower lash line. When I do apply mascara on my top lash line, I prefer to use the roller lash because it does lengthen and separate the lashes really nicely, so then they really do sink into the lash band when I'm using false lashes. So one of the shades that I have in my collection that's pretty similar to the Sansa Stark shade is this shade called Fireball. This isn't going to go anywhere. It is a metallized finish, so I would suggest that you pair it up with a lip liner. The lip liner I applied was the shade Naked 2 by Urban Decay. I highly recommend that. Metallized are tricky because sometimes they're just a little too sheer, if you will, which is why it's important to pair it up with a liner. Well guys, here is the final look. Finally, we made it to the end. But I really enjoyed this palette. I really loved how the mattes blended out. Some of the shimmers had a little bit of fallout, but that's really no concern. You know, just do the makeup first, the eyeshadow first, that would really help. Then that way you could just wipe it away with a makeup wipe. And, you know, the mattes, again, just everything seemed to blend pretty nicely. I really enjoyed using the shades that I did use. Was this pretty much majority of the shades that I used were from this top section here. And then I also used House Lannister and Nymeria as well to just kind of warm up the crease. And but I really love the packaging. I love the way that this storyline was. I love the Comfort Matte shade in the shade White Walker. that's going to be a great addition to my collection here. I also picked up the brushes, but I actually want to save them, but I'll just show them to you. So this is one of the brushes. This is the Arya Stark's needle brush. So needle was something that came in, I think, during season 1, and she had learned how to fight with a sword, which was this one right here, Needle. And so she had a great teacher who we won't go into. I don't want to tell you any of the details because I don't want to break anyone's, you know, if they're like, don't tell me, I don't want to be don't spoil it for me. So, and then this is Jon Snow's long claw. So as you can see, there's a wolf, a dire wolf right on top there. And I think that's what that is. And it's made, in the story, it's made out of a certain kind of metal. I can't tell you guys because you guys have to watch the show to know. But it does kill White Walkers. So if you guys are familiar with that, then you guys will know what I'm talking about. But I hope you guys enjoyed the collection. What are your thoughts about the collection? Are you guys gonna pick any of the things up that I showed you guys today, or are you guys just interested in a few things, the whole collection? Let me know in the comments below. I want to know what your thoughts are about the entire collection. But that completes the look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.